The question is,
that's not what you said, though. That's fine. If that's what you want to say.
Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
And
gay.
I don't even care if you're doing this for like whatever, but like shut the f up. Actually,
everybody was kung fu fighting. DANGERFIELD, Dangerfield.
Hello people, so I'm up here today because all the action's going to happen about there. Just a short video. And what we're going to really be looking at is the difference between an intelligent, intellectual investigation into something that is very serious, such as human sexual difference, and this other weird word that's been invented called gender to intentionally complicate the situation without actually adding anything to the debate. And we're going to contrast that to belief systems. So have a look at this.
Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay.
what? You really just want me to just rip you a new one?
I mean, so he'd rather smash the oldest woman, that means have sex with, in the world, than a trans woman, because he believes trans women are biological males. And her, she then does the, you really just want me to rip you a new, oh yeah, because I'm sure, you know, because this is a belief system, as if you're going to be able to take him on in a fight. He could tie one hand behind his back and close one eye, and you know, men are significantly stronger than women, especially you, love. There's nothing to you, you know. You don't eat, obviously. So she's her first take is to threaten him. You really want me to kick the shit out of you, don't you? Nice. Anyway, let's see what else I got to say.
Are you like, Chase,
No.
how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually. What the f do you mean? Yes, that was so
Because if I had
unnecessary.
sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man.
Now, quite interesting, actually, if we just take that back a bit. Look at the bloke's mate there, sitting on his right. He's got his head in his hands. Now, why has he got his head in his hands? Because he knows you're not meant to say that. This isn't what millennials do. You go along with it. It's a belief system. You don't think about it. You don't investigate it. I mean, it's not important, is it? The difference between men and women. I mean, we can just eradicate that, and society's just going to carry on fine. So he's got the old, you know, why can't you just say what you're meant to? Why can't you just go along with the crowd?
Sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that.
The question is,
That's not what you said, though. That's fine. If that's
Because
what you
I'd
want
be
to say.
gay if I had sex
That's
with a
not
biological
gay.
man.
That's not gay.
That's
And I don't
gay.
even care if you're doing this for like whatever, but like shut the f up. Actually,
I'm doing
You
it
look
for
like
what
you have a
Hey,
leader.
wha-
I mean, that's an incredible comeback. I don't know if you're doing this for like whatever or like, but just shut the fuck up. There's no intelligence there. If she really cared, if she'd really had some kind of intelligent investigation into this subject, she'd be able to put an argument forward and talk to him like the adults they're supposed to be. But this isn't. This is a belief system. And she's having her belief system threatened. And when we have our belief system threatened, because it's not the product of thinking and investigation and intellectual rigor, it actually threatens our entire identity. So she's just kicking off now. She can't have her identity threatened. It's not something, you know, none of us can. It's a horrible thing. But she shouldn't have to in this situation, because this is a debate about a topic. But she because it's not for her, it's her belief. She can't go there.
Why don't-
No,
why
that's
don't-
too far.
identity.
That's
Why
too
don't Why don't you make me shut the up? Because I have an opinion that differs from yours.
She's right. I mean, that's really
But
hateful,
she's
bro.
not.
Oh, she's right. That's really hateful, bro. I mean, this is so embarrassing. You know, people used to be able to have conversations, and she's just done a flight or flight. I mean, she can't fight. In many ways, her rage quitting has proven his point. She's a woman, so it's not fight or flight. Her options were flight or flight, and she just rage quit. I mean, there's not much else to see here, but we might as well watch it.
She's not. It would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me. It's
Dude, that's mean. I also gotta go.
it's not up. It's real.
That's
It's
his.
true.
Okay, if you guys want to
It's
respect
factual.
gender identities, that's his though. That's his sexuality.
And that lady actually comes in with something quite interesting. Well, why don't you respect his sexual identity, which is not gay? Oh no, you've got to be gay. You've got to fuck anything and everything these days. And you know the weird thing about this is, you know, he will be accused of being a bigot and being intolerant, but tolerance is about accepting other people's opinions. Bigotry is when you don't accept other people's opinions that differ to yours. Making our rage quitting, I don't know if you like whatever I like, making her the bigot, making her the intolerant one. Let's have a look at this little article from Psychology Today. Okay, this is a little bit I got from Psychology Today, which is actually a fantastic publication. They occasionally get things wrong, but don't we all? But stay with me on this. It's not that long, but it absolutely explains the madness that we just saw and that we see all over the place, especially around this subject. So this is an essay on belief systems. Since we experience the external world entirely through our senses, we find it hard to accept that these perceptions are sometimes subjectively distorted and that they are not necessarily reliable experiences of objective reality. Now, in that, I would change that to since we experience the external world through university, leftist media, TikTok, etc. People tend to trust their physical senses and believe their perceptions even when they are hallucinating, being lectured to by leftist universities, no matter how bizarre their perceptual distortions. People will layer explanations on top of their perception of reality to explain away contradictions. And because she was hit with an obvious contradiction, she couldn't dialectically resolve that. She had to go. Rage quitting is seen, you showed him, why should you tolerate a different opinion? Walk out, you go, girl. That's seen as a positive thing. There was a time once where we'd engage in debate and outwit our intellectual opponent with facts and ideas and argumentation. But no, these days, walking out, oh no, that's the thing you do. Oh, well done, yeah. No, you shouldn't have to talk to bigots. Look up the definition of bigot and you'll work out which one of those two was the bigot. Anyway. We give our subjective experience too much credence, and so to our beliefs. We will more readily explain away evidence that contradicts our cherished belief by expanding and elaborating that belief with additional layers of distorted explanation. This is why, I spoke to someone about the problems of multiculturalism and how there's a lot of evidence showing why it isn't working in some places in Western Europe. And I've had more than a dozen people say to me, what we need to sort out those problems is more multiculturalism. I mean, that's like saying, you know, I've got gangrene in my leg. Yeah, well, you need more gangrene to sort that out. So, we will more readily explain away evidence that contradicts our cherished beliefs by expanding and elaborating that belief with additional layers of distorted explanation, rather than abandoning it or fundamentally restructuring it. Because abandoning it, being proved wrong, and restructuring it, because this has become an identity, an NPC, an SJW, you can't abandon it and restructure it because you've built your life around it. It's not something you thought about, it's something that's part of your identity. And that's just too much to reconsider for these people. Hence the flight or flight. Radically restructuring our belief system and creating a new worldview engages parts of the brain involved in higher reasoning processes and computation, and is consequently more effortful, time and energy consuming. Yeah, they're idiots. They haven't got the time or the energy because they don't actually care about this stuff. This is waving virtue signal flags high, hoping the whole world sees them. You know, they don't want to do that. They don't want to actually think about it. They just want to establish it. They just want to repeat it. You know, it's gone in that ear and it's going to come out that mouth. The brain often cannot afford such an investment. This would explain why, when we experience cognitive dissonance, in this example, that's the truth, it is easier to resolve this discomfort by doubling down on our existing belief system, ignoring or explaining away the challenging, contradictory information. Now, she didn't even have the cojones to do that, so she left. No, I'm not going to tolerate this. You're horrible. You're hateful. Hate speech. Hate thought. You know, do the off. Double down. Get out. Because your belief system's being threatened. And this is where identity comes into it. This is why, because belief systems are so complete and so of your identity, that you can't challenge them. And because these people haven't been taught this, these people haven't learned this stuff, they haven't investigated it, they haven't studied it, they've been told it. And that's really dangerous, because that makes you stupid. And if you're already stupid, I mean, you know, universities at the moment, they're bullshit factories. People go into university and come out stupider than they went in. And I've seen it many, many times. I've done it myself. I've done 8 years of higher education. I came out a communist. A communist. Now, you've only got to have a very superficial glance at the history of communism to maybe consider the estimated 200 to 300 million people that it led dead in its wake. To, maybe this might not be a good idea. Anyway, another important factor accounting for resistance to change in our beliefs is the way our beliefs are so often entwined with how we define ourselves as people, our self-concept, that is, our identity. Indeed, beliefs are associated with a part of the brain integrally involved with self-representation, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. We want to feel that we're consistent. See, I don't. Thinkers don't. Intelligent people don't. You know, the best thing about life is when I'm proved wrong, is when I lose an argument, is when halfway through an argument I say, I don't know. Because then I learn something. Then I become a better thinker, a better person. But when it's a belief system, no. No, because then it threatens who I am. It threatens my self-concept. It threatens my identity. We want to feel that we are consistent with our behaviour aligning with our beliefs. We constantly try to rationalise our own actions and beliefs and try to preserve a consistent self-image. It's embarrassing and quite often costly in a variety of ways to admit that we are fundamentally wrong. Check this out. Check this out. Remember the video you just watched. Think about the people who make these crazy claims all over social media in relation to this summary here. In many cases, people have a lot invested personally in their belief system. They may have staked their reputation on a particular belief. That's a stupid thing to do. You don't do that with a particular idea. You do that with a belief. Not infrequently, people structure their whole lives, your NPC, your SJW, around a belief. And this investment may go far beyond a sense of self, extending to large material, financial investments or a life's career. A change of belief for such a person would obviously involve a monumental upheaval and may entail intolerable personal losses. No wonder it's so hard to change our cherished and entrenched beliefs. Imagine if each of us as individuals could cultivate a scientific attitude of rigorous critical thinking and curiosity in our personal lives, which you'd expect people to do when talking about somewhat important things like sexual dimorphism, for instance, and could experience an exhilarated feeling of discovery whenever we find we have been wrong about something important, exactly what I said a couple of minutes ago. Perhaps it's time to stop talking admiringly about faith and belief as if these were virtues. Faith is based on belief without evidence, whereas science is based on evidence without belief. I hope you enjoyed that. If you got something out of it, give us a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this kind of stuff, maybe have a look at some of my other videos and hit that subscribe button. Ta-da! Yeah.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Sweet bit, sweet mama, sweet bit, sweet mama, sweet bit, sweet mama. Please, sweet bit, sweet mama, sweet.